Hello, 8th graders. This is Miss Karana. On behalf of all of the other 8th grade teachers, I have some important messages to give you. We have good news and bad news, so I'm going to start with the bad news, and it's pretty important that you listen up because it's the end of the year and there's so much going on, and we want it to be successful. We want to continue teaching you and giving you the best possible learning experience. However, there are some things that are kind of getting in the way of that. Before you freak out, I know you've heard some rumors. I'm going to lay everything clear. So, first things first. The PDA is out of control, and it really is. And before some of you start getting all worked up and talking about how they're just friends or it's not that big of a deal, that's not up for negotiation. Public displays of affection are unacceptable at school, and we will no longer tolerate it. It's frustrating for us as teachers to continually have to remind you to do things or just to not do the things that you know you're not supposed to do. And many of you are really good students and likable kids. However, you continue to push the boundaries. We've given you plenty of warnings. So the PDA has to stop. That goes for, and we don't pick on boyfriends and girlfriends, so that's going to go for boyfriends, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. We're not going into all of that. Hopefully you're mature enough to know what we're talking about. But more than that, we don't know who's going out with whom. So just keep your hands and feet to yourself. Even if you tell us they're your friends, we don't know that, and we don't want to pry into your personal business. So keep your personal stuff away from school. This is not a place for that. I think that's pretty clear. In addition to the public displays of affection, there's a lot of other behaviors that are kind of evolving into problems. Some of them would be the drama, and I understand you're teenagers and you're emotional and life is difficult and challenging and you bring that to school, and I get that. However, sometimes all of the stuff that you bring from home or relationships outside of classroom causes problems and affects the learning environment. And so you're going to have to deal with your drama differently. If you need to see a counselor, you can do that, but the trying to leave class all the time and talking with your friends in the bathroom and going late, you need to report to class as soon as class starts. A lot of you guys are taking advantage of the fact that you don't have the out-of-class passes and going to the bathroom way too much. That has to stop. You need to be in class. It's pretty simple. Lately, we've also noticed that a lot of grades are dropping, and I think that some people are really taking for granted the fact that they know that school's almost out. Well, we have a long way to go, and you guys really need to stay on the right track, and a lot of you really need to make some major improvements in order to be successful. All of this to say, I know it seems like we're getting on you and griping, but all of these small things, like I said, are turning into big problems and making it difficult to teach when teachers have to spend 5 minutes getting you quiet and getting you on task because you are not in your desk and you don't have supplies. At this point in the year, you need to be responsible enough to have everything you need for class. There's no more excuses. Other people want to learn. You need to get your acts together. Now, with all of those issues that we as teachers have been talking about with administrators, we know that we've given you plenty of warnings, and we are done with warnings, particularly with the excessive public displays of affection. I don't want to go into all the details again. I've already said it has to stop, but I'm letting you know if it doesn't stop, if you cannot be mature enough to deal with mature situations, then you'll be treated how you behave, which means save your whining for a little bit later. But this means that if you cannot correct these behaviors, if you cannot get to class without grabbing each other and getting in each other's way and walking on the wrong side of the hallway, if you cannot go to class like you're supposed to without breaking all of the school rules, then it's a big problem and we're going to fix it. You have the rest of this week to correct those behaviors, or we are simply going to dismiss you girls first and then boys. And if we have to, we'll walk you to classes and treat you like the 6th graders because you continually break the rules. And I know that some of you are, oh my gosh, it's not fair. Guess what? It's not fair. The people that want to learn can't learn because you guys just keep making it difficult on everyone else. So you can whine all you want. Our expectations will not change. I know that it's unfair for a lot of other people, but the problem is it's a lot of 8th graders are causing the problem. It's not just a few. It's going on way too much. So behave immaturely, we will treat you immaturely. We don't want to do that. We really don't want to do that. I would rather see you enjoy your time here at school and get down to business when it's time to get down to business and have fun when it's time to have fun, because there is a time for that. That's not our number one priority. Our number one priority is to educate you. However, we do want to have fun and reward the good behaviors, because I know that there are some people listening to this right now that they're just so sick and tired of hearing teachers have to give these lectures. Trust me, we're sick of giving them. And so we want to reward those of you that continually do the right thing and maybe motivate some of you who've been making bad choices. So, aside from the consequences of being treated like children, there is some incentive for good behavior. Now, I know we've got the dance coming up and all sorts of things, but I want to give you another motivation. I want to say to those of you that are good students or trying to be, those of you that come to class prepared, those of you that listen to your teacher, do what you're supposed to do, no more trying to make out in the hallways, no more of those rule breaking. If you just do the right thing, we want to take you to Holiday World at the very last week of school. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for that ever since a few years ago, and we want to take you. We had a blast ourselves as teachers going on that trip, and we think that there are many students that deserve that sort of privilege and that sort of reward. So what's going to happen is you are going to be put on a 8th grade wide reward system, and you need to be good. You need to improve the behaviors or continue on the right track that you are on. And so you will be given a chance to earn, I don't really know what to call it, but earn credit for good behavior. So in each class, each of your teachers will be responsible for the end of the week by saying that they're going to give you credit. So if you have seven, I don't know if you can see that, 7 classes, and there are 5 weeks in between now, starting Monday, and when we're going to take you to Holiday World, 7 teachers, 5 weeks. If you multiply that, then that gives you 35 chances to earn credit. Now, we know that some of you will have a bad day or a bad week, and so we're not going to make it unattainable. If you can get 30 out of 35 credits, that gives you 5 chances to have a bad day or whatever. Don't do it on purpose, obviously, but that gives you a lot of leeway, a room. It's attainable. And each and every single one of you can get at least 30 out of 35 credits, or whatever we're going to call them, between now and Holiday World. So we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for people who are trying to do the right thing. So hopefully at the end of this week, we will not have to walk in girl lines and boy lines and separate you in the gym or take away lockers or all those other sorts of privileges. Hopefully we don't. We don't want to do that. It's not what we signed up to do as middle school teachers, but we will. So get it together, 8th grade. Secondly, I hope that all of you are now motivated to pursue the right track and do the good things that are going to get you not only to having a fun, enjoyable rest of your 8th grade middle school experience, but an awesome, amazing time at Holiday World where we'll all have the best time ever, and you will surely remember it. So if you have any questions, you need to ask your homeroom teacher, your advisor. Any of your teachers can talk to you about this. But you need to know that our expectations are high, but they're in the best interest of everybody in here, because we're about learning and we want it to be fun and enjoyable. So you're going to have to act right.